Good morning from Spirited Vibes. I'm going to have a little chat today because I've had the question put to me quite often about near-death experiences, and people ask, have you ever had one? Well, actually I did. I did when I was 20, which was 40 years ago. And we were driving, me and a friend were driving up the coast of Taranaki, and there's a hole, like a tunnel in a mountain that you have to drive through, and we're just approaching that. It was a really hot sunny day, and I remember dozing off, and then so I don't really know exactly what happened, and I'm not going to go into details, but the next thing I know, I was drifting through this mist, standing upright, drifting through this mist, and all around me in the mist would have been about maybe half a dozen other souls moving in the mist, and we're all slowly moving up. And I remember thinking, this is so wonderful. I was so happy. I was going home. I knew I was going home. It was the most wonderful feeling. Utopia, I suppose you could say it, but if you've ever held a newborn baby in your arms and you get that feeling of love, well, you increase that by 10 times, and that's the energy that was inside this beautiful white mist, this overwhelming energy and excitement about going home. I didn't even give another thought to what was happening down on earth. Didn't even enter my mind for a moment. I was just focused on going home. And then next thing you know, I was inside this really bright white light, really opaque bluey white light. And then this woman appeared. Bing, just like that, she appeared. And she would have been, I don't know, maybe 5'6", and she had this long blue gown on. I guess it was like a sapphire blue gown on. And she had this white head scarf over her head down. It was quite long, went past her hips. And she had her hands here between her breasts in a prayer position. And she had always kept her head bowed like that. And she had long, straight, glossy black hair down to her waist. And she spoke to me telepathically. She never moved her lips once. And she said, "Go to the right. There is something we want you to do." And bing, I was there. And I can remember this sort of apricot coloured glow around everything. And there was a man there, and he had quite scruffy, long black hair, wiry black hair, and a bushy beard. I guess he looked about maybe in his 50s, short, sort of stocky guy. And then there was a tall guy next to him that looked a bit like Abraham Lincoln, tall, skinny guy with a top hat. And next thing you know, I was walking. The bushy man with the bushy beard said something. I don't know what he said because I don't remember, because we're not meant to remember. Next thing I was walking along a stream, and through some silver birches, lovely white barked silver birch trees. And we're walking through a stream, and all the flowers that were like daisies and marigolds that were growing in the meadow around us all glowed from the inside out. So down here on this earth, the light reflects off flowers. Where there, the flowers radiated the light from within them. And it was absolutely stunning. And so I'm walking with him, and he was talking to me, and he was showing me different events in my life. And I don't actually remember what they were, but I do remember at one point saying to him, oh no, I would never do that. Obviously I did. So anyway, we're walking there, and he talked to me for quite a while, and then I don't know what else happened, but oh yes, I do, yes, that's right. And then from there I suddenly found myself alone in this, like a village. It had like white marble road and white marble walls, and there was a white marble, like they looked like little shops or something on one side. There's quite a lot of busyness and people moving around, no vehicles or anything. And there was dogs and cats, I could see them all. And then there was a building that looked a bit like, I suppose, a Greek building, very square with these pillars in the front. And I knew that I had to walk up these stairs. So I walked up the stairs, and the doors, which would have been I don't know, 20, 15 feet, 20 foot high. They were huge, just opened up. And inside there was a glow, this misty glow, and on both sides was like a library. There was all these shelves with, I guess, books on them. And I'm walking down there. I just knew to keep walking, and then they would tell me when to stop. And I knew that I was going to find the book of my life. My whole soul record, it was all there, and I was going down and down and down to retrieve it, to read it, which I must have done because I don't remember anything. Next thing you know, there's a lot of tables. I'm standing looking at these people. They had these like almost like picnic tables, and there was all these women and men, and they were making cloth. And the ladies picked up the cloth and they would hold it up, and it was just like a white cloth. And then when they turned it around, it was invisible, like an invisible shield. And when they turned it back, it was a white cloth. And they were making this just by hand, very happy, very content. And the thing that I felt when I was there is I knew them all. I knew every single one of those people by their soul. They were friends. Every one of them was my friend. I knew them all from a long time ago because I recognised their light, their soul inside of them. And it was wonderful to be amongst all these friends and people that loved and cared for you. And that's the feeling you get the whole time that you're there. You feel like you're amongst all these people that love and care. And you know that you're one. You are all connected to the one source. They were no different than you, they were no greater than you, they had no different skills than you. We were all part of the same consciousness, like a clothesline, and we were all just hanging off that clothesline, all connected to the same thread. And we were all exactly the same thing, we were all pieces of the same thing. And it was just incredible. And I remember a friend of mine's husband, and he'd passed away in his 30s, and he was there. He came up and he spoke to me, and we sat on the picnic table and we talked. And it was just, I don't know what we talked about. I can't remember what we talked about, but I remember talking with him. And it was so, I don't know. It was going home. It truly is going home. Anyway, next thing you know, bang, I was back in this white opaque light. And I heard the lady's voice, but I didn't see her this time. And she said, "You've got to go back now." And I said, "No, I don't want to go back. This is home, so why do I have to go back there?" I had no connection to that earth at all. So she opened up like a hole, about the size of a big beach ball. And I looked down, and I would have been probably not much higher than the power lines. That's where I was. And I could see my body laying down on the ground below me, just laying there, just as I was dressed when I went up. And I looked down at it, and I remember saying to her, "Do I live in that?" Because I had no emotional connection to that suit of armour, that skin shell at all. Nothing at all. It meant absolutely nothing to me at all. I just said, do I live in that? And then there was this whoosh sound, and then that clunk, and it was like somebody had hit me across the head with a bit of 4x2 piece of wood. Oh, my head ached, and I woke up, and I was, of course, back in my body. And I was okay, and I remember feeling really disappointed that I was back because I really didn't want to be there, because I know now what love is, and I know that this is a temporary existence, and we're here to learn things and to teach others, and then we'll go home. And so I don't have a fear of death, and I think that helps me with my mediumship, because I try to get to explain to people that, what they've done is their soul has left their body, because the body no longer serves them anymore. but it was just a suit of armour that they wore when they were down here, so that their soul could get around and do the things that it wanted to do and share the knowledge that it was getting. But it was only a temporary shell. And so when their soul goes, it goes home, and it goes home to love, and there is no ego up there at all. Every one of us is the same. So anyway, that's the story of my near-death experience, and after that I was able to see a lot of things that I hadn't seen before, and I have seen the soul leaving the body, and I will tell you that in another video. So I just wanted to share that. That was my experience anyway. Bye for now.